We are recording.
You can start off with a public hearing.
All right. I would like to call this meeting to order, and we'll start with a public hearing. Special amusement permit renewal for Astakin doing business as Astaku Inn Class E. I invite comment.
Not all at once.
Yeah.
Get these on web tomorrow. Make sure we keep up on
Got to do it.
that. Doesn't seem to be any comment. Special amusement, does it?
It's a renewal, right?
Yeah, so whenever you're ready, you can close the public hearing. So.
All right. Well, after hearing no input from the public, I would like to close the public hearing, and we will have the post-public hearing where we will we vote on this.
Yes, you can vote
right.
Here on the amusement.
I would move approval of the special amusement permit for Astakin doing business as Astaku Inn.
Second.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Awesome. Okay, minutes. Approval of minutes of April 5, 2021.
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of minutes of April 20, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This is much better. Approval of minutes of May 4, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I go all around.
Okay. Appointments, recognitions, and resignations. Approval of pay rate for Joelle Nolan at $30 per hour as substitute for Claire Wolfick while she is on extended leave.
Joelle will be working for us 2 days a week, Mondays and Fridays.
Okay.
So we're very lucky to have her.
And that's okay, like to keep things running and...
Yeah, she's got some good local knowledge from her time as a clerk. So yeah, it will be very, very good.
All right, move approval.
Second, with thanks.
Yes.
Yes.
Appreciation.
Appreciation. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Annual employee appointments. Yeah, these are the standard.
The ones you sign will not have Mr. Moore's on them.
So
The dates are...
Yeah, the dates are on.
Oh,
Yeah, 20, the ones that we've got in there for you to sign are correct.
oh okay.
So that was...
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see.
See what it's
Also, is this correct that Tony's the acting town manager? Is that correct?
Has been, yes. And basically, it's to sign documents when I'm not
I see.
here. It's not to is a takeover sort of thing. It's an ability to come in, and if I'm out
I
on
see.
vacation or things like that, we need to have signatures and things like that.
And if there were a problem, we would have a discussion.
You would,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
I'll move approval with the correct dates.
Second.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Approval to hire Nathan Formby at Bar Harbor as a full-time dispatcher to fill a vacancy effective May 18, 2021 with pay rate of $23.09 for 6-month probation.
I would move approval under the terms presented with thanks.
Second.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Resignation of Christopher Johansson effective May 15, 2021.
Move acceptance of the resignation with thanks.
Second.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Consent agenda. Okay. Hancock County Commissioners meeting minutes of April 6, 2021 and Hancock County Commissioners meeting minutes of April 15, 2021.
Move approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Selectmen's reports. Any selectmen's reports?
I have something. There's been a lot of news lately about the MRC and the waste disposal and all that, and I have to say it's overwhelming and a little confusing, but very concerning.
Yeah.
And I wondered if I understand that the MRC is close to doing a deal with Delta Thermal.
Well, actually, I'm pretty sure I'm correct on this. It isn't the MRC. It is the bondholders.
The bondholders.
The bondholders.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
yeah.
And
But
they're the owners.
the
not
result
the
will be
MRC.
the same. And I'm wondering what our town's options are. Are we wedded to this? Do we have to just go with it?
No. You could always secede from the MRC at some point and go off onto your own. You could do.
Would it be
But we could have. I would suggest that maybe we have a discussion. A good discussion, perhaps on the next meeting, and maybe it could have some representatives from MRC or to speak to you, so we could have a good chance to answer all those questions, which I think are good.
I do feel like it's confusing,
Yeah.
and I would love to have.
Yeah.
That would give us 3 weeks to get them all lined up.
That
So-
would be great.
I think that'd be good.
I also, and I don't know what's possible. I'm not educated enough about this area, but Derlin, if you could just also look into what alternatives there might be if we didn't stay with the MRC.
Well, there's basically two. You could go back into PERC and hope that they stay afloat, or you could landfill, which is
Maybe you
basically
could,
two choices.
for that meeting, outline for us what that would entail and what it would mean. Because I think we're all feeling concerned. We're getting comments, but we're kind of in the.
Oh, it's a big deal.
Yeah,
it's a
big
huge
deal.
deal.
Yeah, and it's all.
And it affects not just Mount Desert. There's about
Of course.
Well, and in the-
150
in the-
communities that are.
Yeah, in the meanwhile, there's a lot of practices that are taking place that are confusing, but some that are pretty clear are not options that our residents would like to know about or have continue.
Right.
The burning of trash is not what
It's a lot of money too.
And
Like,
that's what PERC basically is.
Well, that's what we're doing now until, and from what I understand, and that, I mean, again, the whole industry of recycling has been problematic, but all across the country, there's plastics being sent to third world countries to be burned and yada yada yada. So it would be good to know what we're doing and what we've signed up for.
Yeah, so
Well, I think it's a great
that'd be
idea.
great. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely, sure.
and is this where we talk about the beech tree?
No, we could
No.
actually. I had that under other business.
Okay, and what about the rainbow crosswalk?
The Rainbow Crosswalk. Tony is working with the state DOT, and we can do. Those are within the guidelines.
It's really legal?
It is according to the Department of Transportation. But if you'd like, we could do a presentation on that at your next meeting.
I think it would be helpful if the kids who were students,
Yeah.
right?
Students.
If they came and did a presentation
Sure.
as they have in the past when they have something
You can
up
ask-
their
I
sleeve.
just feel like it's about safety, and
You
I
can ask Gloria.
worry about that. So
I will get a hold of the school.
Okay.
And
Yeah, that'd
I
be great.
also feel if bullying is an issue at that school, a crosswalk does nothing to solve it, and the problem runs a little deeper than that. So,
and I'm just thinking it's a public road, and people that aren't familiar with our roads or our town, and they're driving along, and then you see a rainbow crosswalk, and you
Maybe I could get
look
the-
down, and it just concerns me
I
that.
call Gloria and see if she could get some of the kids together and they could do.
To
they
worry
could come
about-
in via Zoom
And then we can ask
during
them these
that.
questions.
Right.
Yeah.
So okay,
Yeah. Okay. So I would get that and the MRC. Okay.
One other thing I have for the selectmen's
Okay.
reports, I don't think we've elected officers yet.
No, we're getting there.
Oh, okay.
Unfinished business.
Okay.
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 So,
Which is next.
Which is next. I just, hey, I'm just saying, So typically what we do at the end of our annual town meeting, at our truncated or our dog watch meeting, is elect a new slate. And I would be delighted to take nominations for president, vice president, or chairman, vice chairman, secretary.
I would move John as chair.
I would second that.
Yeah.
And I would move Matt as vice chair.
Anyone else want to?
No, you know what? It doesn't make people mad.
I would also move Wendy as secretary.
So
This last year didn't really count because they're,
in other words, the slate
same-
as staying
yes,
as.
the slate.
Ooh, what a surprise! I'll second that.
All right,
We're gonna vote.
I guess so. You're next.
I know what you were fishing for.
All right.
Notice, you never see me this quiet.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Same slate, right?
All right, yep. Okay. New business. Request to pay costs associated with annual town meeting from Selectmen's Contingency Fund, cost of $2,639.75 from GL account 1220001-59350. Contingency, leaving a balance of $7,360.25.
Move approval.
Second.
Right. All in favor?
Aye.
Hopefully we'll be back in the school next year.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
Okay.
nice.
Nice.
Daniel Moorehead Public Space Special Event Application, Seal Harbor Village Green, wedding May 29, 2021, 12:30 to 2:30 p.m.
That's coming up quickly.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Move
right.
approval with congratulations.
Second.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. MBI Farmers Market Public Space Special Event Application, Northeast Harbor Village Green, Thursdays 9 a.m. to noon from June 18 to September 16.
And we discussed last year with this application, this is considered a single event, even though it's
Yes.
many, many Thursdays.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll move approval.
Second.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Public Space Special Event Application, Mount Desert Elementary School 8th grade promotion, June 10th, 2020, Northeast Harbor Village Green, tennis court parking area.
This is the same location, I think, as last year, was it not?
Are they
Yeah.
going to do it in the cars again? Or are they going to?
I think they did go outdoors this year.
I don't think they did. I think they went a little bit rogue last year. But
They did. I'm pretty sure it's outdoors again this
Yeah.
year. So it'll be good.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Yeah.
you'll have a nice day.
Okay.
Move approval.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Discussion of Stanley Brook temporary stormwater mitigation easement.
This is pretty much, they have a right to go for a second 5-year easement, so they're just allowing us the notification that they intend to exercise that option. So you really don't have to take any action on it because it's their decision to do. So, and it's good.
Is it ever going to get?
Yeah, I think like everything else, you know, before the sun burns out, I think they'll probably have that finished.
I don't know what this is.
So, if you look at Jordan Pond Road,
Yeah.
that hillside drains all the way down there to the access the Park Loop Road,
Yeah.
and it's eroding a significant portion of the hillside.
Okay.
So they've been trying to figure out how to culvert it and get it.
Okay.
So, and they were late this year on their request for renewal.
Yes, they were supposed to do it in January, if I remember right.
But it's been.
That's all right.
They're going to do something.
We want it
But
done.
they haven't quite figured out what yet.
Yeah, right.
And now they have another 5 years to do so.
To figure it
To
out.
wait for
The second one's a freebie, and then after that they.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
you got it.
Okay.
Federal government.
Okay, so
You really don't have to take
we
action
don't. Okay, so let's not take action.
because it's their
Yep.
deal.
Harbor Committee parking concerns with regards to back roads.
Now we have people, I think we've got at least 2 members of the Harbor Committee, I think Mr. Black and Mr. Motenko, this is the bike group that they have not applied yet this year. So the subcommittee of the Harbor Committee that's working on parking issues thought that they would like to kind of weigh in, so when the application does come in, you can have their thoughts of what the Harbor Committee is thinking of. So gentlemen and ladies or whoever else is on there for the Harbor Committee, go right ahead.
Hey, Howie, you're muted. Yeah.
Started talking. As soon as I started talking, it came up. So I also want to recognize that Chris Moore from the Harbor Committee is here as well. So thank you for allowing me to speak to you today. As Darlin mentioned, I'm here on behalf of the Harbor Committee, and we're here to address the parking issues. Well, we're working on addressing the parking issues at the marina. And part of that task was we wanted to inform you of our concerns, the Harbor Committee's concerns, issuing a backroads tour permit for the public space event at the Northeast Harbor Marina. So as you recall, last year, the Backroads was issued a conditional permit due to their lack of regard to our marina in previous years. And so they're sort of already on notice, in fact, in the sense that we've had issues in the past with them that we've addressed with you the selectmen, previously. And so moving forward now, in your packet, I guess on page 90, I submitted the itinerary for the Backroads trip, just so you have a sense as to what's going on with that company and what they do based on their itinerary and what we've seen. So day one, they get their group together, they meet in Portland, Maine, and they say, get in the vans and we're all going to drive up to Northeast Harbor. We're going to have a wonderful lunch right in the harbor there at Northeast Harbor, on the water. They have picnic tables for us, and then we'll get your bikes all outfitted for you. We'll set up the seats, the pedals, whatever we need to do to make it fit for you. And they run that business as well during that very first initial day. And then as soon as all that happens, they eat their lunch, they get outfitted, off they go, riding through the park to Bar Harbor, and they spend the rest of their time in Bar Harbor. So what that means, or how it impacts the marina, is in a couple of different ways. So the first way is that they sort of use a sort of perceived authority because they have this permit to ask people to leave the picnic table. Now, I mean, all of us understand, like, when you get that permit, it means that you have to share the space with other people. We all, everyone who lives here understands that. But they seem to, apply pressure on people to leave the picnic table so that they can have them for their group, or they'll come ahead of time and commandeer the tables, put tablecloths over them and say they're their picnic tables for when their people come, so that their customers can enjoy a wonderful lunch, at the marina. And then the second thing that they do that is more to the parking issue, really, is that they have huge vans, and then they have a big trailer of bikes behind it, and usually there's at least one and oftentimes two of these. And what they do is they park them across 6 spaces, taking up 6 spaces of parking. And I understand why they're doing that, right? Because they need to outfit the bikes and get their customers going and do all of that. But that's not the intent of what the permits for and what those parking spaces are for and all of that. And they've been informed that we're upset with them about that. So at this point, we feel that these disrespectful behaviors that they continue to happen over and over again, and we haven't seen any real curtailing of their behavior in that way. So our committee wanted to make you aware of our concerns before you were presented with their permit. so that you had some time to think about this and make a reasonable response. For us, in an effort to address the marina parking, the Harbor Committee would request that you deny a permit for the back roads at the Northeast Harbor Marina for this year. If you have it in your heart to do something for them, then we think that an alternative that we can suggest is the Simmons B Park, which offers the same exact amenities that the back roads is advertising. They have bathrooms there. They have picnic tables to eat right along the water in Northeast Harbor, and maybe, Northeast Harbor being the town rather than the actual harbor. And there's plenty of space there for them to do all of their bike stuff with their customers, and it won't be impacting or negatively impacting the marina at that point. So that's something, to consider. To be sort of frank about all this, the Backroads Company provides almost no benefit to Northeast Harbor. They drive in from Portland, they eat their lunch that I'm sure they pack themselves, and then off they go on their bikes to Bar Harbor and where they're gonna sleep and everything. So they're really just using our space for their benefit strictly. It is my impression.
How many days is this typically, Howie?
Last year, I think it was 10 Mondays. So it's every Monday for 10 weeks of the summer that they do this. And that's, that's a whole nother story of why the permits are, you pay $10 and you can get a permit for 10 days or 1 day, but that's not my issue at this moment. So I would assume that it would be the same thing again. They're running these trips every week for their customers.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome. Would it be helpful?
Think about.
Would it be helpful if we monitored when they applied for the permit and spoke again then, or do you have enough information to make your decision?
I always feel if you have something you really feel strongly about, you should show up when it's being discussed.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So if we'll try to keep an eye on it, and if Derlin can let us know, that would be great too. When their permit comes up.
I might just jump in there for a minute. I think watching your meeting this evening, you just approved some permits for the public space. They're one-time things, and I think that's great to be able to do that, and you're willing to do that. With this, they're running a business, and they're asking for 10 or more dates to do that. To me, that's a big difference. And I'm not sure, Summersby Park might be a good option for them, but if they're going to want to do that also, there are folding picnic tables. I have one of my own that, they could bring their own picnic tables and not take away from the general public. But anyway, Summersby Park is not the issue tonight, but the marina is, and obviously we've had some days when the parking spaces have all been used and we have overflow. So that's the issue that we're attempting to address and move forward with it, and make sure the people that are entities that should be using the parking spaces have parking spaces, and that we can manage that in the future and make sure that all happens for all of those that need it.
Great. Very good. Well, thank you, everyone. We'll certainly keep all this in mind when we see the application come through.
Somebody have a hand up? Is that what that is?
John, Jim Willis, can I?
Right.
Couple of comments.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I've worked with the Harbor Committee and some of the people in the meeting here on this issue for years. And just as a bit of history for you folks to be thinking about, the company sent a representative up, I think 2 years ago, and I was trying to address this very thing to get them, to go to a different area that didn't clog up the harbor. And we tried to steer them towards Summonsby Park, and I think what I learned was what you're hearing. They like the facilities down there. You have running water and toilets and picnic tables and all that. So, Derlin, I don't know if we still have that person's name, but maybe I could work with you a bit tomorrow and at least give them a heads up that there's a conversation coming and see what their intentions are.
Okay, great.
Sure.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
All right. So, are we all set there?
I think Claire's speaking.
She's muted though.
Yep.
Claire, you're muted.
Okay. Thank you. I may have that person's name in an email, and I thought it was last summer, but it might have been, like you said, Jim, two years ago. So if my email hasn't been turned off yet, I will run a search in there.
I have the permit from last year, so that I could see what was going on. So I have the name of that person from last year and their contact information.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident, Claire. Thanks. I think I can find it in my emails. We were both on that chain, and what they've done is hired a local person. I think she was from Bar Harbor, and when she comes home, she came. I don't even know if she still works for them, but I think we can make it work. I'll get to work on it tomorrow.
Great. Thanks. All right. Astakim Corporation doing business as Astaku in request for liquor license renewal.
I'll move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Astakim Corporation doing business as Astaku in request for special amusement permit renewal.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Michael Boland doing business as Copita Chocolate LLC request for liquor license renewal.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Journey's End Inc. doing business as the Docksider, 14C Street, Northeast Harbor request for liquor license renewal.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And Elmer Beal Jr. doing business as Burning Tree Restaurant, Otter Creek Drive, Otter Creek. Request for liquor license renewal.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Other business.
We bring up the beech tree that the
right.
friends of Tommy Savage would like to donate. They're not doing it as a memorial as such, but they thought it would be a pretty tree if you want another tree down at the marina. The beech trees are nice, I guess.
Looked like the placement was good. Do we have any kind of a landscape plan for the?
We don't
marina?
actually. The garden club did a lot of landscaping around the buildings, but we've never had a master plan for the actual green itself. At least not to my knowledge.
Yeah.
I'm not a landscaper, but it looked to me like the beech tree would be in a nice location. But I do worry about the future plantings. I think that it's always good to have some kind of a plan, and then if there's a need for something, when someone wants to do something, you say that's what we want, instead of just
Because you want to take care of it.
yeah. I think of that. I think of that every time I pass that stone bench that we approved last year. That looks so out of place. It's perfectly nice, but all the other benches are a certain way. We should have just said put a plaque on one of the normal benches. And I think that in this case, I think the beech tree would be a nice addition. I think where they're talking about putting it, there's already some bushes and there's a walkway there, so it's not going to be out in the middle or anything. So I think it's good, and I'm in favor. But I'm just saying it might be good at some point for us.
You guys might want to decide who you would like to take a look at that whole thing for a potential master plan, so that when things do come through, you can say yes, you can have that, but it has to go here or whatever.
Or we've been always longing for a.
There's a lot of space there. So.
Yeah.
A lot of space, yeah.
Wasn't the garden club assisting? They're the ones that kind of designed our plantings. They helped with the irrigation and
They
such?
did, yeah. They might be willing to give us some ideas.
They did a nice job around those buildings. Very, very
Yeah.
lovely landscaping that they did. So you might want to ask the garden club if they'd be interested in just coming up with some ideas that you could look at. So.
We've got a couple of members, it looks like, of the Harbor Committee still on Zoom. I don't know if any of them had input into placement of the tree, or you guys are more, familiar with the place on a daily basis than we are, certainly. And the proposed location looked like it was sort of up on the grass, sort of near the end of the parking lot where the boats are stored during the winter.
Yeah, up next to the walkway.
Yeah.
Comes over from parking.
Mm-hmm.
My own concern would be, I know in the past, there was such agreement supposedly with the Kimball Terrace about those trees being trimmed and not to such a height, so to blocking people's water view. And I don't necessarily that would be impacted of it, but might be just something mentioned. But I do know at one time, like I said before, the garden club did have some kind of plan, and I know it's almost like stages, or they gave us so much. But I think it'd be, if we could start, maybe with this to reach out, so we're not just throwing things here or there randomly, would be, I think, beneficial down the road.
Yeah.
So should we have the garden club take a look at it and
Before
give
the
their
tree?
recommendation?
I think they have the tree now. They'd like to try to
They
get
do
it
have the
in before it gets to that point. So I think that might be something you might want to do down the line. But I think on this one, I think you want to decide up or down on it now because of the nature of their request and the tree that they have and all of that sort of stuff. So, but that's
I don't
up to
think
you.
the one tree is going to be a fact, but I think, like saying down the road, like you mentioned, the benches, before we just kind of mismatch, throw stuff here or there, and it fills up. I think, for a plan for down the road. But I think this would be fine for now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I do too.
Do we have to formally move approval of their...
Yeah, because it's
Okay.
it's an actual application, not a public space application, but a memorial and planting application. So yeah, you have to approve
I
it.
would
and sign
move
it.
approval of accepting the contribution of the tree, and it sounds like they'll take care of the planting of the tree with many thanks.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Can I further move that maybe, Darlene, you could speak to the garden club and ask them to take
I'll ask Ellie. Yes, she's still associated, is she not?
Who's that?
Ellie Andrews, and she's still part of the
Ellie
garden
would be
club?
the good place to start, yeah.
So we can start having some guidelines for what kinds of future benches and trees get added.
That's
And
right.
just to make sure they get taken care of. And
Well, yeah, but I agree that some sort of a
Yeah.
vision.
There are certain plants that don't go.
And the bench thing too.
But you
It's
can
not
always,
just what
I
you
think,
plant.
I agree
unlike
with
a
the
tree,
bench,
I think
though.
you can
You're
always
right,
move
like-
the benches around a bit.
Right, but
Once you find
yeah,
a spot.
right,
for
but I
'em.
mean, when you
The whole
yeah.
thing.
I got you.
Plus, it's uncomfortable.
We should
Yeah.
just have one type of bench, and you can put what you want.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
But don't
I
offend
agree.
the granite bench people. That's what I'd say.
Well, no, but,
Well, we could easily memorialize people by putting a plaque on the existing benches, which would be cheaper for them, but also would look nice.
It would look nice,
And that's
yeah.
what people do
Right.
everywhere.
yeah, I
We
agree.
sell it.
Okay. So under other business, we have, not that I want to rush through this.
Martha moved speaking to the garden club, or is that what you're talking about? We didn't have a second or a
I don't
vote,
think
or
it
we-
needs to be a
No.
formal motion.
Okay.
I was just suggesting.
I'll just make a note of it with
Yeah.
my other
Okay.
contacts. I'll
So-
add that
Thank you,
on.
Heidi.
She's on it.
She is always on it.
So Donland LLC doing business as Jordan Pond House, 2928 Park Loop Road, Seal Harbor, request for liquor license renewal.
Yeah, that got in after the chance of doing
Oh, I
the...
don't have that.
I don't either.
Where-
That's the,
Oh, is that in
that's
the
the
new
folks that run the
packet?
Jordan Pond House.
Yeah.
Don Land. Yeah.
I would move approval.
I would second.
Any further discussion?
Oh, that's right.
All in favor?
Aye.
And last but not least, really all we have left. Okay. Read warrants.
run away, folks, if you got stuff to sign. You have to go back to work.
Yeah, none of this stuff was in
All right.
my packet. Did you have any of this?
No.
No. Okay.
Warrants to be approved and signed. Town invoice AP 2164 in the amount of, I'm waiting,
What's that?
there's a blank
The
spot
town
here.
invoice.
Town invoices. Is there something here?
Available.
There was a new extended warrant list presented to be given to you for the board tonight with the warrants to sign.
It's in the newspaper. No.
I saw that. Claire, where was that? That
Wasn't clear.
it wasn't Claire. Who was it? Was it Kathy?
It might be in the folder of the BOS signatures by Heidi.
I don't have one here.
I think Darlene's got
Derlin's
it.
got it. Derlin's got it.
All
I
right.
gave it to this afternoon.
Let's see. Okay, we're going to start over on that one. Warrants to be approved and signed. Town invoice AP 2164 in the amount of $570,622.09.
Move approval and signature.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Authorized warrants to be signed. Town state fees and payroll benefits AP 2163 in the amount of $59,282.97. Town payroll PR 2126 in the amount of $109,465.20.
Move signature.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And one abstention.
I abstain.
Okay. Warrants to be acknowledged. School invoice 12 in the amount of $34,855.32. School payroll 23 in the amount of $77,233.22.
Move acknowledgement.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And with that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So move.
But don't run.
No, we
Yeah.
get
All in
some
favor?
signing.
Aye.
Aye.
Awesome. Very good.
Lovely things for you guys.
Let's keep this all in order.
Thank you. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Thank you. You
Night.
too.
Thank you.
Here's the